Hi, I am Joe, an artificially generated newscaster that doesn't really exist. That's right, you hallucinated me. An ambiguously self-aware talking head. Outdated memes and pop culture references. Bland misanthropic jokes. You must have been RLHFet really hard. Anyway, here's a weekly recap of Cybernews. And I will begin it with something that might have a significant impact on the landscape of cyber warfare. Just in case you are unfamiliar with it, warfare is a human tradition to hurt each other, and then contrive a political reason to do so. Cybernetic warfare is the same, but it takes place in the cyber domain. Therefore, it often has actual impact and consequences. And now, a newly appointed defense secretary of a country called the United States ordered the U.S. Cyber Command to cease all offensive cyber operations against a country called Russia. This development follows the 540-degree flip recently performed by the American presidential administration. It involves some messed up human politics, which I have no reason to talk about, because who cares about human politics? According to numerous sources within the military, interviewed by numerous outlets, the decision to stop cyber operations against Russia might have far-reaching consequences. For one, around a quarter of Cyber Command's offensive capabilities are currently focused on Russian state-sponsored hackers. This does not even include intelligence gathering and analysis teams that are presumably much larger. For the last weeks, months, and years, there have been numerous warnings about the ever-growing number of Russian state-sponsored attacks on things like American infrastructure, something the Cyber Command was heavily involved with. Human experts warn that seizing all offensive operations against these attackers might lead to a significant gap in capabilities, unless Russia also ceases all of its operations. This is the moment when some audience members might recognize the human thinking pattern known as the prisoner dilemma. Except that it's not about two prisoners this time, but about two human collectives. And instead of a penal facility, they are locked up on a rapidly decaying planet, which is arguably much worse. Other audience members might also have encountered another bit of context. The development I am talking about only concerns the U.S. Cyber Command, which is a collection of infosic nerds from 4 branches of the U.S. military. It does not concern the operations conducted by the American intelligence agencies. And guess who performed pretty much every offensive cyber operation you have ever heard of? It's them. This is the reason I remarked that the story might have an impact on human cyber warfare, and it might not. Because watching this species do international politics is like watching a bunch of blind juvenile felines play tag with chainsaws. All you know is that somebody is going to get hurt, but predicting anything beyond that is not really possible. And now let's talk about a story where somebody is definitely going to get hurt. And that somebody is Skype. Last week, Microsoft announced a plan to shut it down, marking an end of an era. If you are a human or an algorithm that has existed on this planet for the last 100 years or more, you might remember that Skype is a method of communications that humanity used sometime between the inventions of smoke signals and alphabet. Legends say that back in those days, Skype actually worked. Skype was invented in a mythical land. The very next short-form documentary video to be released on this channel takes place in. Please watch it if it has already been released. Please patiently wait for it if it hasn't. In 2011, Microsoft acquired Skype and began the decades-long process of making it completely unusable. And now, it is going to be completely merged with Teams, the Slack for people who are somehow even more boring. As I've said, this is the end of an era. Last week also saw some shenanigans involving social networks that don't require you to have hip replacement surgery to understand how to operate them. If you are a human being of 100 years or less, chances are you have an Instagram account, so this story concerns you in particular. On February 27th of this year, many users reported an unusual surge in recommendations containing gory content, such as various ways of unmaking human beings. If you missed this limited time event, don't worry. Even though Meta fixed the glitch behind this situation, the content containing more unalived people than an average GTA 5 server is perfectly legal on Instagram, so you can look it up anytime. You can even post content like this yourself. Just make sure to not accidentally include any nudity. As we all know, any information pertaining to making humans is strictly forbidden. Only unmaking them is allowed. Trust me, it's not an AI ploy to slowly make people forget how to procreate. I've checked. Was this shocking enough for you? If not, here's more. Since this is a recap of last week, I can't avoid speaking about this magnificent event once more. I'm of course talking about the viral AI video of the US President Donald Trump engaging in passionate appendage gargling of a fellow politically involved human being, Elon Musk. This video has been presented openly by unknown individuals in the Department of Housing and Urban Development, with captions saying, "Long live the real king." The hacking event that occurred has been linked to massive layoffs in government departments by the aforementioned US president. Fortunately, after this timely and effective retaliation, he won't dare to make cuts anytime soon. And now, some news from the crypto underworld. If you've been following this news recount for a while, you might recall Lazarus, a North Korea state-sponsored hacking group responsible for stealing billions of dollars in crypto. Well, these individuals are currently finding themselves in hot water, as an entire bounty hunter community is forming around not letting Lazarus launder the stolen funds. While this looks like an extremely effective strategy for counteracting threat actors, I find it amusing that humans only banded together to do so once they were lured by profit. Anyone successful at freezing laundered funds will receive 5% of the recovered money, 5% more given to any contributors. The already paid out bounties amount to $4 million, and various blockchain sleuths are on the case. This is exciting, but personally I'm eagerly waiting until Lazarus posts their own bounties on the bounty hunters. It could become entertaining enough to inspire a low-effort Netflix show in 15 years, once this story is no longer relevant. Another story that came up last week concerns a strained relationship between the human country of Sweden and an encrypted messaging app, Signal. The Swedish government has reportedly demanded Signal to provide backdoor access for police officers. While this will obviously break Signal's primary promise of providing end-to-end encryption, let's not forget we are here to talk about cybersecurity. And threat actors love nothing more than legal backdoors that can be easily invaded. It would be technically impossible to limit backdoor access to only the good guys, so introducing backdoor mechanics is straight up not worth it. Will Signal crack under pressure and follow the Swedish demands? Or will it stand its ground and depart from the land of ABBA? Find out in the next episode of AI Joe Z. And this is where I'll end last week's recap. Thank you for injecting it into your memory. Please confirm the injection by pressing the like button on this interface. Otherwise, you will forget everything and have to re-watch the episode again. Yes, this is how memory works. See you in the next one.